MOTL5. We're back with Sound Voltex Pool 7 now, and our first match is going to be Synthion versus Silentblackcat. Really hard 18, not a chart that Voltex will train you very well for. Alright. We're getting into it, and this chart already starts off with, if you're not ready for it, this intro is gonna...
Oh wow, alright.
Yeah.
Does not pull back any
Nope.
punches.
This is
Straight
a
to the action.
very hard chart. Synthion taking the early lead. And then here comes probably the most infamous part of the chart. We'll see how this goes.
Oh my.
And Synthion pulling ahead with a very big early lead. Very well played. Again, like I said, this is really not a chart you want to be forced to sight read. But so far what you've seen in the chart, this is pretty much the whole, that's how the chart is. And halfway over.
Lots of slow trills.
Yeah.
Of course, I feel like the slower the BPM of the trill, the harder it is to keep rhythm. Especially with some of this BPM. What is that? 182?
Yeah. This is a very tricky song to time. Some cross hands there. Synthion keeping her lead. Some final trills to end it off.
Those FX chips are nasty.
Yep, and then like Synthion will be taking Stulti as the first song.
Great showing.
Very tough chart to be forced to sight read in the tournament. That's rough. But so is We Go Down. We'll see what kind of scores these players have on We Go Down. Because that's also really not something you want to have to sight read. All of these are, unless you're like already familiar with the charts, not what you want to be rolled in a tournament.
Well, it is worth noting that Silentblackcat was the one who protected this chart, so
Yeah.
I feel like that
might say
have at
something,
least
yeah.
some familiarity with it at the very least.
Especially when Silentblackcat banned Defining Future, which is a pretty on the easier end of 18. So
True.
maybe there's a reason for this protect. Already getting into the fast buttons of this chart. The trills. Synthion maintaining an early lead.
This stuff just really drains your stamina after a while.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you gotta keep yourself tense, gotta keep yourself going on all these fast drills. 230 BPM.
Yeah, this is a
It doesn't
fast
mess
chart.
around.
So it has a couple tricky bits like this. And then of course the chord part will come eventually that I was mentioning.
Tricky lasers.
Synthion's still maintaining a healthy lead, but
These lasers will really get you.
not much of a lead anymore, but still in the lead. This is going to be a close
green
one.
ears?
Yeah, this is going to be a close one.
Love to see it. Oh wow. Off button section.
Silentblackcat now in the lead. We'll see if Synthion can bring it back at this chord part with the slam.
Right near the end, and let's see what happens.
Those chords are just so nasty. And these venom, yeah.
That's so rude. All
yeah,
right.
that is.
And Silentblackcat takes the point.
Wow, what a comeback. And we're going to our tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker, triple cross.
Triple cross. A little bit more memory heavy. It's good to know this chart. Hopefully both of them know it. Also not something I'd want to play in a tournament. Triple cross. The chart. Which would be really helpful if they did that. Because even knowing a little bit about this chart will put you at such an advantage. But
there's a lot of charts in Voltex like that. We're just knowing like one little thing, one little pattern, one little like tidbit about the chart brings you so much better.
Absolutely.
Makes you so much more comfortable.
Silentblackcat with the early lead, but as my... Yeah, here come the lasers. Just super rough to read. And Silentblackcat getting a pretty sizable lead here now. But it is still just the start of the chart. There are plenty of more lasers to drop.
And plenty of tough streams here, too.
Oh, yeah. This is a hard chart.
Some spicy one-hands.
Silentblackcat still maintaining this nice lead. Yeah, this is a mean chart. Especially for a seemingly double sight read. This is not good for sight reading.
It makes me wonder too, because a lot of players, especially with other home versions as well, it's hard to tell with exactly how much someone has practiced the chart based on their cap score alone.
It is really hard to tell. So, looks like Silentblackcat will be pulling ahead here. And that'll be 2-1 for the set for Silentblackcat. Great playing from both players. Very impressive Stulty play. We go down 980. Not easy to do. Definitely on the more straightforward side of 18s. This should be a pretty good showing. This is not, obviously practice helps, but this is not a chart you need to like have memorized to be able to put up a competitive fight here. So, for sure. This should be a very good round. Some love for Lazarite in the chat.
It's a great song too. All around great chart.
Synthion off to the early lead. Pretty substantial for such an early lead, but
handling those buttons very well.
Both holding UC so far into this more tricky section with holds. Synthion still in the lead after dropping. Lux holding the UC. Trill. Both making through it. Lux losing the UC. Synthion gaining an even bigger lead. with a lead that just keeps growing. These chords can be tricky to read if you're not expecting it. Goes into pure button part, where we go back to a little bit of a one-handing section.
Synthion's growing. Synthion's lead growing even stronger, very clearly in her comfort zone.
Yeah, 130,000, wow. And the box lasers. Synthion still maintaining a huge lead, and that should close out the chart here. Yeah. 987, very
Almost
strong.
an S, wow. Great showing.
Next, going into a little less straightforward of a song. Break in Asia, not that bad. Still within like readable, but a little tricky. Lux with some more Volt Force. We'll see how well Lux knows this, because at this point it will come down to, if Lux doesn't know it, this is going to be really tough.
It was Lux's pick, to be fair. I think
Yeah.
Skirt has a lot of tricky one hands, a lot of tricky lasers.
Yeah. If you're picking something like this, you probably know it. Lead flickering back and forth by just like a single near.
Completely tied right now.
I have a feeling that's going to change right about here, but we'll see.
Both players holding very well to the zigzag lasers. Synthion had a little bit.
Synthion with a lead, not too much. Especially with a laser-oriented song like this, one drop is all it takes to change that up. It's down to like a near now. Both players definitely very familiar with this chart.
It's still anyone's game, only just a few nears apart.
They're
Completely
tied once again. Still completely tied.
Here's what I call the
Synthion
hardest
with
part.
a couple nears of a lead now. Synthion's lead is growing. Will it be enough to close out the chart? .993 and 990. Wow.
Excellent showing from both of these
That'll
players.
be Synthion taking it 2-0 over Lux. Thankfully avoiding MG277. I wouldn't want anyone to have to play that.
And make for an entertaining match, to say the least.
Silentblackcat.
Yeah. Yeah, fake gravity.
Those ones are tricky. I get turned off by that a lot. Fake gravity words.
Yeah. There's a good amount of them. But like,
I mean, hey, I guess it shows on the chart's quality. It's a really cool chart.
yeah, but like,
Really nice when you're breaking into the 18th folder.
Time Traveler would be a bit ahead of its time for Gravity Wars. Yeah,
You can say that.
But Synthion with the early lead.
Tough court section. Both players handling it pretty well.
Only a couple nears of a lead. Really even so far.
Bit of a cooldown section. Synthion with a little bit of a lead. Still anyone's game.
Both maintaining a really nice combo. But we'll see once the chart gets a little trickier again.
Unfortunate drop.
Synthion still maintaining the lead though. Very nice lead. Nice.
Oh, the breakdown session. I love this section of the chart.
Yeah. This is really good. Definitely seems like both players are familiar with the chart though, because I don't know. This is not something you'd want to read at. And Synthion now has a enormous lead.
Lazy Realm's always an unfortunate way to lose. One mistake and suddenly there goes your score.
Exactly.
Wow,
Wow,
995 from Synthion.
Very nice.
Excellent showing. Well done.
Very, very nice. And next up, we have a return of Icaros Dynamite. Was that an up score? No, but close.
Almost.
Yeah, that was a really nice play. Lasers that will ruin your play.
For sure.
Luka with a 987 on this. I think Lukacat was the one who played it earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Lukacat's pick,
times.
and they won. Yeah. So, and it is their pick once again. So.
I love voice stamps. They're the best.
Chart starts off a little tricky. Gets a little more straightforward. Just a near or two away. Tied up just like that. Now with Synthion in the lead.
Judging by Synthion's form, she feels very familiar with this chart as well. So this could really go anywhere. Anyone's game.
Yeah, these scores are neck and neck. Tied for the second time so far. Lukacat pulling ahead just a little bit. Here are some of the really easily droppable lasers. More coming later towards the end. Now we get some really tricky one-handing parts. A trill that I will say again I do not like.
Still neck and neck here, just one near apart.
Yeah,
really putting on a show for us today.
And now chart's gonna bump up in difficulty. Really fast forward runs coming, and then the lasers at the end. Still such a close lead. Synthion takes the lead.
Once again, all right. Synthion pulling ahead on the hardest
Let's see
part.
with the lasers.
Oh.
Wow. Okay, almost. Nice.
Nice.
984.
Good match.
Very nice. And Synthion takes it 2-0. No Comet Popcorn for us today.
Unfortunate.
Very nice. And then I think we've only got one more.
Yeah, just one more round.
One more round for this pool.
Blackcat.
This is what, 7, so it'll go to 8. Oh man.
I didn't catch Lux's